So it might seem silly to walk around wearing a hat like this, but I'll tell you why it's so important. Hey, this is Scott Weidenkipowitz. In this video, I'm going to talk about two accessories that I always have with me when I'm traveling and I know that I'm going to be in a place that happens to have either a lot of sun or a lot of rain or a lot of cold. So pretty much, I'm always traveling with these. So the first accessory I want to show you is called a Tilley Hat. There are many versions of this, but this is the most popular one. I think this is their standard model. It is actually the Airflo, right? Now, this hat, it does look like you're this wildlife touring dude or a dudette, but basically, the hat is soft, durable, you can compress it and shrink it and squeeze it, whatever, and it always goes back to the right shape type hat. And it's got this nice airflow ring up here to let your head breathe, but it also doesn't let water inside. This hat is water resistant. Technically you can't call clothing waterproof because it doesn't really, if you went underwater you'd still get wet. But it does block the water really well. And it also is going to block the sun, so your head won't get sunburned. And for me, I don't have a lot of hair to block sun, so I got to rely on a hat. So this hat is fantastic for that reason. It does have the little drawstring straps that you can tighten around your head if it's super windy. I have yet to actually need this. It fits my head so perfectly that I just throw it behind me and put the hat on. And I do have the strings hanging behind, but I don't care because it actually does the job. Now, the hat does let me bend and get to a camera, so I don't have to take the hat off in order to look through the viewfinder. I can just go like this, get close to my camera, and it'll just go up on its own. The hat also has a pocket inside in there that is great for ID or for extra money, anything for an emergency, right? And the best part is, if you read this inscription in the inside, basically it says, if this gets stolen or lost, it really replaces it for you. That means, yes, you might be spending $70 to $90 on a hat, but you're buying it once. The next accessory I want to talk to you about are these. Now, these are gloves from Aquatech. These are probably the best that I've tried. I've tried a lot of gloves for photography, but these are probably the best. Now let me undo these because right now they're attached to each other. And I want to show you what makes these so good. Now they are thin, they are extremely thin. They do have the Thinsulate type material in it, but there's no additional insulation. They're extremely, extremely thin, which has a downside. The downside is they're not great in extremely cold weather. They're good in just wind or fairly cold weather. I'd say 40s, 30s. But if it gets down to the low 10, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, it's not going to do any good. Now, these gloves can attach to your wrist really well. They do have these bungees that are made for keeping these together and that kind of stuff. I've always thought about cutting them off, and I still might, but I've left them on now for 3 years and no problem. Okay, now the reason why these gloves are so good for photography is because of that hole. You may not have been able to see it in the video, but I'm going to show you. Basically, there's two holes in the pointer and your thumb. And what you can do is you can get your finger through there, and now you have your finger exposed for actually touching your camera. And you can do the same thing with your thumb. So now I have two fingers exposed for touching the camera. Or four if you use two gloves. So, they also are grippy, so you can actually feel things. You can feel comfortable that your grip is going to hold tight because one, you can actually feel it, and two, you've got additional grips on the inside that really help. So, Aquatech gloves, I think these are around $35, $40. If somebody else has better gloves for photographers and they want to send it to me, get in touch, send it to me, and I'm happy to check them out and try them and review them. Otherwise, these are the best ones that I found. And they're always with me when I'm traveling making photographs.